Hi everyone, welcome to Nareen's Life with MS. I am Nareen and it is time for a Thoughtful Thursday. And this Thoughtful Thursday, I was doing the one thing that a lot of people don't really expect me of doing, considering I've got very dead eyes, which is thinking. And, while thinking, I was actually wondering about how I try to keep myself as upbeat as possible. And, I can almost turn this into a series where I talk about certain things that I do to just keep myself engaged, right? And I think way back when I came out with Day 20, and I was talking about, one of the main things being be content with hanging out with yourself. I mean, this is one way that I hang out with myself, and that is, just finding funny things about language, right? About languages, especially. Um, be it the cadence at which we speak, be it the speed at which some people speak, the pronunciations of different things, and of course sometimes something that is fun, something that can mean one thing in one language means something else in another language. Like, I think some of my funniest ones are, in French, a cake is un gâteau, and in Spanish, a cat is un gato. So, a Spanish cat is a French cake, right? And similarly, the like saying chat GPT in French, like pretty much calling it like chat GPT, pretty much means cat. I past gas essentially. So I tend to keep myself very occupied, just finding things that I can connect in between two languages that might not seem as close, and just seeing what are certain things that I can, what are certain things I can find interesting about them, what are certain things that I can find comical about, just these different things, right? Another thing that I can definitely say is that the way, let's say for example, again going back to French, is that the letter R is usually pronounced from the back of your throat, so it goes huh, right? So you're pretty much doing, like, you're practically making a sound that is akin to clearing your throat. And using the back of the throat to make sounds is also pretty common in, I think, German and Arabic as well. And that made me realize that um, Germans, French people, and all the Arabic speakers, they probably have like the cleanest throats ever. Everyone else's throats are probably like stuffed with phlegm and everything. So, those are like the funny things that I usually come across. Um, just simply, being in the process of hanging out with myself. So I definitely do want to take this as an opportunity to ask you, what are certain things that you do if you are happy or content with hanging out with yourself? And considering that I had a little bit of time to think about it, and because I was actually telling my trainer in the gym about the chat GPT thing in French, um, it made me think of other things that make me laugh about different languages, and just understanding or knowing different languages, or at least knowing certain things about different languages. And so I do want to ask that of you as well, like what are certain things that you keep yourself um, upbeat, happy, laugh, even if you're by yourself and you're just stuck with your own thoughts, right? Sometimes, I do come to the point of, just thinking that, okay, fine, I really don't want to read something or listen to something or watch something or do anything really. So what can I really do? And thankfully my brain becomes active enough and is comedic enough to actually let me do all of those things. So that is something that I did want to share with everyone. And considering it's something where I was actually lost in my thoughts, I thought it would be a great topic to have for Thoughtful Thursdays. So I definitely want to ask you this question: how do you keep yourself occupied when you really don't want to do anything else and you're by yourself? Do share your comments, do share your insights, do share your input so that we can get the conversation started. And with that said, this has been Naren Saif with MS. I am Naren, and I hope you're having a great Thursday. Weekend's right around the corner, and this is going to be the second last weekend of 2025. So I hope you are all ready to pretty much enjoy your vacations or your holidays. And with that said, good night. I hope you had a great Thursday. And with that said, bye.